Hey everyone, welcome back to Fireside Chats. My name is Ian Group. Thanks for watching. How do you go about investing in something you know nothing about, except for the fact that the people that are doing it are making a ton of money? In this episode, I talked to my buddy JD, otherwise known as the Finance Cowboy, and JD sought to achieve financial independence by investing in real estate, but he wasn't always an expert. Now, fast forward a couple years, he's got 22 properties by the age of 30. With his partner, his wife. They work through the fear and the nerves by having a plan and by taking a bet on themselves. So this is a must-watch episode if you're interested in investing, and we go into mindset and amazing things. But before we dive in, just look below the video for a quick second. Right down there on the right side, one of these sides, there's a little red button with white text that says subscribe on it. Would you click it and help my channel grow? Much appreciated. Now on to the show. JD, what's up?
What's up, dude? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I am good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining. You want to introduce yourself really quickly?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is JD. You may know me on Instagram by Finance Cowboy. I am 30 years old, live in South Carolina. I have 3 kids, a beautiful wife, love real estate. For work, I sell medical equipment. So that's a quick overview of who I am.
You and I have become fast friends on Instagram, and we share a lot of interests, one of which is real estate. For anybody that's watching that doesn't know, I started my career in real estate as an attorney, and I very much admire all of you that you've accomplished. You are in medical device sales, you have a 9-to-5, you have a family, you got several kids. And through all that, you've also managed to build an awesome portfolio. So how many properties do you have now? You said like 20?
We're at 22. 20 of those are long-term rentals, and 2 of those are short-term rentals on the coast just outside of Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, okay. I got to book one of those.
Yeah, come on, let's go.
All right. I get a discount for having you on.
For sure.
All right. So what I want to know, how are you able to have a job, have a family, and build up this substantial portfolio of properties? It's amazing.
So there's a couple key ingredients. I think it starts with focus. So what do you want? And so I decided early on, my wife and I as a team decided early on, we didn't want to be tied to a career for the rest of our lives. We knew we had skill sets that could, potentially get us to that point, but we didn't know what avenue was going to do it. And so we fell in love with real estate. And I think we did that for a couple of reasons. Number one, my best friend is in real estate, and he was always talking about it. And number two, my wife's father, my father-in-law, he had dabbled in real estate his entire life. And so, we knew we wanted to reach financial freedom. We were at that crossroads of like, how are we going to do that? Are we going to build a ton of side hustles? Are we going to invest in the stock market? Are we going to buy real estate? And so we settled on real estate because of our network and who we know. And so once we decided, hey, we want to buy real estate, it was just putting a plan together and essentially paying now so that we could play later. There were times throughout the last 5 years where all of our friends, they were buying boats and new cars and going on trips. And we lived in a, very modest house, old cars, and we would just save up. And whenever we'd have enough for a down payment for another rental property, we'd go buy another rental property. And then we would start the process all over again. So I really believe, and we can hop into the details of, of what that looks like purchasing these properties, but I believe it really starts with the foundation of knowing what you want and then putting together a plan to get there and then staying focused throughout the process.
That's awesome. When you say putting a plan together, walk me through what that means. Does that look like a plan to save money? Does that look like a plan to identify the kinds of properties you want? What I would love is somebody watching this to be able to walk away and say, I know what I need to go do.
So you need to start with, okay, what is my end goal? So once you know your end goal, we can say, how do we need to invest to reach that end goal? And so you kind of mentioned it. It starts with saving money. For me, when I was looking at real estate, I did it very simply the first time. So a lot of times in real estate, the simplest deal on an investment property is you put 20% down and you loan out 80%. And so for me, I knew if I could just get 20% down for the ballpark I was looking in for houses to buy, that was around 12 to 15 grand. So houses at the time were 60 to 80 grand here. They were renting for 900. And I knew that was the ballpark I wanted to be in. So I was like, if I can just save 12 to 15 grand, then I'm going to get there. And so that's what we would do. And, that's how we started, is just setting that number. I know I have to have this much if I want to buy real estate. Now let's be disciplined, not spend, keep our eye on the prize. And then also, how can we increase our income along the way? And then also, as we progressed, you kind of get savvy as you continue doing real estate. And so we realized, okay, if I have to put down 20% every time that I go to buy a property, this could take a little while. So how can I expedite the process? And so there were times where we didn't have much cash. I went and I found a lender who would loan at the appraised value of a home instead of the purchase price. So a lot of times, if you purchase a home for $80,000 or $100,000, the lender's only going to loan you $80,000. They're only going to loan you 80% of the purchase price. I found a lender who would loan at 100% of the appraised value. So if the home was 80 grand and I got it for 100 grand, or if the home was worth 100 grand, and I got it for 80 grand, then I didn't have to come up with a down payment because he was lending me off of the appraised value, which was 100 grand. Right. And so there were times that I was buying properties and I was getting cash back at closing because of this lender.
Yep.
The third way that we were able to accumulate so many properties in a short period of time is through private money. So we got traditional, we got the lender who's given us money based off the appraised value, and then private money. And so this is where I actually used my father-in-law here, and I've used my uncle here. I would encourage you guys, people in your network, whether it's a relative, whether it's a friend of a friend, people are looking to lend private money. And so I would take that money and I would go buy a home in cash that I knew was undervalued. I knew it was worth $100,000, but I got it at 80. Then I would go and I would refinance that property, pull a note out on the bank, pay my private lender back. And now I've just gotten to a home with zero money down or just a few $1,000s compared to an entire 20% down.
I love it. So take me through your mentality on that first deal. Were you nervous?
I was so nervous. The first deal, I can still remember it. And I meet with a lot of people who are wanting to take the jump into real estate. And I really can feel the emotions they're feeling because there's so many unknowns. You're saying, am I getting a good deal? Even though the numbers say it, you're wondering, am I getting a good deal? Is the house going to burn down when I buy it? Is the tenant going to move out? Are they going to tear my property up? Is the lender going to back out? Whatever the case may be, there's so many variables that are going to try and keep you from taking that plunge. What I would tell you is it's good to have those nerves, especially early on, because it should make you really zone in on your due diligence. But once you do cross that line and you do purchase that property, you're going to be glad you did, barring, not making a dumb investment and trusting the numbers and, you're in a good area, because tenants, they do tend to pay most of the time. If not, then they get rid of them. The property manager, you get rid of them and you get a new one in, and most of the time they're not tearing them up. So there are those one-off situations where you're going to run into trouble, but the benefit way outweighs the risk, in my opinion.
Do you also invest in the stock market, or are you just exclusively real estate?
I do invest in the stock market. Most of my investment in the stock market is retirement accounts, though. I would say I have close to a little over $200,000 total in the market. 160 of that's in retirement, and the other 40 is in company stock with the company I work for. So like if you hop on Instagram or social media, you see a lot of folks talk about index funds and people dollar cost average and continuously invest into funds weekly. That's not my personal strategy. I stick more to real estate outside of my retirement account.
The reason I ask is I think about people who might be looking at real estate for the first time, or even people that might be thinking, hey, I'm just looking to invest money somewhere to build wealth for my future for the first time. I just wonder your take on how those nerves and settling those nerves might translate into other areas where people might be looking.
Anytime you do something new, especially investing, when we're talking about our money that we've worked for, there's going to be nerves. I don't care if you're investing in real estate, the stock market, crypto, NFTs, you name it. There's going to be nerves. And, I look at like my past. I used to play baseball all the way through college. And up until my last game, my senior year of college, there were still nerves. But I
Totally.
knew I had prepared. I'd done all the preparation. I've been playing my whole life, but there were still nerves. And I don't think nerves are what you need to worry about as much as have you prepared, because the nerves are never going to go away. They're always going to be there. But if you can put in the preparation, learn as much as you can about whichever endeavor you want to take, surround yourself with people who know what they're talking about and who are successful, get all the knowledge that you can, then you can take the plunge and the nerves will subside once you realize, okay, I deserve to be here.
I think back, that's awesome, by the way. I think back to when I was taking the bar exam and I was so nervous. I remember being nervous, but feeling that exact same way, being like, failure is not an option. I've studied so hard for 2 months. I belong here and I know I'm going to be fine. And I think about that all the time when I see elite athletes, when people at the Olympics or professional sports, golfers teeing off. I don't know if you're a golf fan, but I watch, you watch them tee off with like crowds to the left and the right. I'm like, how the hell do they do that? It's preparation. It's preparation, and they're just comfortable with it. So I think the message is fantastic to anybody that's getting started. Do the work, do the diligence. Do you have anything else to add?
I think that's it. I mean, we've covered most of it. I just, I'm big on really deciding, setting your goals. What do you want? Put an end date on that. Stay focused, do the preparation, and then go after it. And you'll look back and you'll say, man, I can't believe I was as scared as I was then. Look where I am now. And, when I'm on this side of owning 22 properties compared to when I was at that first property, I look back and say, I can't imagine a life where I haven't done this. I would be so far behind. My net worth wouldn't be where it is. I wouldn't be so close to financial freedom if I would have let fear hold me back. And so, it's kind of cliche, but they say your destiny's on the other side of fear. A lot of times it is. So do the work on the front end, step through the fear, and you're going to reach your destiny on the other side. And you'll look back and say, thank God I took that plunge.
Love it. Do you have a date for when you're going to hit financial freedom? Do you know?
I am 30 right now. I'm 30 and a half. I think I can realistically hit it at 32. I think I could probably realistically hit at 32. Now, I probably won't, because I really enjoy my job. Mm-hmm. I enjoy the company I work for. I enjoy my customers. Plus I get health insurance with it, for match 401k. So I don't know if I'll take the plunge, but I think I can reach that point to where if they piss me off, then I can chunk the deuces and say, hey, I'm out of here.
Right. All right. Well, good luck. We'll do a follow-up episode in 2 years.
Awesome. Sounds good, dude.
Well, thank you very much for being on. I appreciate it. Go follow Finance Cowboy, and we'll talk soon, man.
All right, bud. Thanks for having me.
See ya. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Awesome show, right? So I'm going to leave you with a quick story. When I was in 6th grade, I had a teacher who gave me advice that sticks with me today. He said the best way to retain knowledge was to quickly review your notes right before leaving school for the day. Just clean them up, make sure they're organized on the page and in your mind. So this stuck with me, and I'm posing the challenge to you. If you learned something today from this episode, if you felt inspired or feel anything from it, would you please leave it in the comments? I genuinely want to know that you're taking something away, and I think that by writing it down, it'll help you retain it. So go do that. Until next time, peace.